Hello everyone, good evening. In today's world, personal branding is just as important as technical skills. LinkedIn is more than just a digital resume. It's a powerful tool for networking, showcasing skills, and unlocking opportunities. It is as it's an absolute pleasure to welcome you all to this session, LinkedIn Optimization, Episode 2 of KnackIt, an initiative by CSI SB MBCET aimed at empowering students to emerge as professionals. Today, we are extremely privileged to have with us a very special guest, our esteemed alumna, Kesia Mayhew, to lead this session. She is a product engineer at UST, specializing in GraphQL API development for Python-based microservices. She is also an accomplished speaker, having presented at multiple international conferences. Beyond her technical expertise, she is deeply passionate about mentoring and empowering individuals in order to achieve their career aspirations. Through this session, she will guide us on how to leverage LinkedIn effectively, right from crafting compelling profiles to building meaningful connections and unlocking opportunities. Without further ado, let's extend a warm virtual welcome to
Thank you, Veda. Can we begin the session?
yes.
Okay. So, yes. Hi, all. And I'll be sharing my screen. Let me know if my screen is visible.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Thank you so much. Okay. So, as said by Veda, we'll be having a session on LinkedIn Optimized. So, before that, thank you to Tachi ma'am and the Computer Society of India MBCT chapter for inviting me and giving me this privilege to conduct the session. So, talking about myself, I'm Kessia and I work as a product engineer in UST. It's been almost 2.7 years that I've been working in UST. Okay. So, why LinkedIn? Now, I think most of you have a LinkedIn account and you have heard a lot about LinkedIn. Now, why do you need a LinkedIn account? Is that, as you all know, the number of users in LinkedIn is vast. And if you know that almost 94% of recruiters, they use your LinkedIn profile to recruit. So that is something that holds on to you for your um, future placements. Next is the networking. So you might be staying in some corner of the world, but if you want to get an opportunity to other corner of the world, this LinkedIn plays a huge role. And then it's a visibility. So how you portray yourself. This is kind of almost like personal branding. So personal branding, what is personal branding? Personal branding is like how you portray yourself and how others perceive about you. So maybe I can give you some examples. So I got my job through LinkedIn. My internships were offered through me through my LinkedIn profile. That is, LinkedIn has actually helped me. Now I'm being standing the other side where I view different LinkedIn profiles and I recruit people. Recruit as in we shortlist different candidates. So what happens is in different companies, I have in different internship companies or startups, what I've seen is they get a lot of people, they get a lot of resumes or profiles from different college students. So you get a lot, almost 200 plus profiles. Now, how do you shortlist them? So one of your way to shortlist is your resume is there, then your LinkedIn profile. So LinkedIn profile actually plays a part. Now, what are the criteria on how I eliminate certain people from, or how I or the people who are recruiting you, they eliminate you from getting shortlisted for the interview? Is I'll be telling that in the coming slides. So you get to know how your LinkedIn actually plays a part. So, so maybe, so what I've seen is you might be a college student now, but some company have noticed your profile and they're waiting for you to get graduated so that they can send you this opportunity. So like I've heard different, some of my colleagues or different of my friends who are working in different companies. So they have kept certain freshers aside So like they're looking when they will be graduating so that they can give that person that opportunity. So you might not know that some opportunities are waiting for you, but through your LinkedIn profile, someone has caught their eyes on your profile. Yeah. So make sure your LinkedIn is up to date. Now, how does I just give you a gist on how so if it's any college, maybe it's MBCET. If I want to hire people, students from MBCET, I might take MBCET college, and there is like alumni or the people section where we can write, okay, and shortlist people. As in start year, maybe 2023 I'll give, and your graduation I'll give it as 28, and maybe I want people who are skilled in Python. If I give it that, I would get some profiles here. There might be people who are attending now, or we get certain profiles. Now I need to catch my attention to certain profiles. So if that is so, in this section, what all do I see? I see your banner, your what, your profile photo, your name, and your headline. So that is some things that I catch my attention, and maybe some of the connections is visible. So so when you look at this, okay, so you just know people actually look into profiles with these three categories main, like I say your name, your photo, and your headline. These three play an important role. Okay, so before we dive into more, we'll have a quick poll. I want you to go to slido.com. Let me know if you're facing any issues. Okay, so go to slido.com, type in this code 3889184, or scan this QR code. Okay, just let me know if it's active. Even I can check it down. Are you able to get this? Is there any issue? Let me know. Okay, I don't see anyone voting. Okay, one person has joined. Okay, fine. It's working. Okay. So the question I want to know is how many of you have a LinkedIn account? The most basic. If you have not created it, there's no issue. We can, there is time, and that's why CSI has created a wonderful session so that you get a basic awareness on LinkedIn. Okay, we have almost 78% of people who have created a LinkedIn account, very active users in LinkedIn. Great to know that. I think there are just 11 people. Okay, did anyone come in? Put some message in chat. Okay. Okay, fine. I'm not going to waste any more time. So we have almost how many people? We have 42 people in the Google Meet, and I see almost 16 people have responded. The others are still waiting for the net or whatever issues. Okay, then okay, I just want to know a basic idea like of how many people has a LinkedIn profile. So we have 76 people percentage of the participants having LinkedIn profile. Well, good. Okay, the next question is how many LinkedIn connections do you have? So I believe almost in your class there are almost 60 students, and so I want to see the number of people who have 60 to 100 or yeah or 100 plus. And okay, 91% of people have 1 to 60%. Okay, 1 to 60 connections. Great. 60 to 100 we have 8%, 14%, 100 plus. Great. Okay, fine. We'll move on to the next question. Okay. Have you created a post on LinkedIn? Okay. No is dominating. that was obvious. And okay, you're just college students. Okay. Okay, you're just college students, so you might not have much to post for now, but I'll give you ideas on what to post now. Okay. Well, that's it for the poll. Then we're going to go into the LinkedIn part. Okay, next. Not wasting any more time. So as I said, I showed you how what I see in your when I went through the college. What do you see? Your name, your profile photo, and your headline. It's the most common things that I can see. So first thing is your name. Many of the companies eliminate people based on the way you've formatted your name. Okay, that is the most basic requirement. So if you have written your name all small letters, shows how careless kind of or how you're not aware of it. So before you apply for any jobs, make sure your name is formatted well. Now, how is the formatting? You can see that your first name, your first name and last name, or yeah, you write your entire full name with the beginning with the first letter capitalized. Okay, not just your first name capitalized, first letter of your first name capitalized, even your last name first letter should be capitalized. Okay, I think that's a basic things, but there are many who doesn't follow this. We have seen different LinkedIn profiles that have come to our companies, and we have eliminated such profiles. So that's why I'm telling you, please make sure your name is formatted very well. Uh, because that's the first impression. I see your name first. I have your resume, how your name is written. If I see your formatting is wrong, well, the impression itself goes down. Yeah. So make sure the name is formatted well. Now you might have initials. I'll show you different examples. Um, then, okay. Next is consistency. You have maybe different profiles do not have different names. Make sure you follow the same format across your different profiles. Maybe your GitHub, or maybe your LinkedIn, or maybe any other professional site which you use. Make sure your name follows the same format or the same this consistent across all the different sites. Okay. So I'll just give you an example. Now, your name, if your name starts with an initial, how you need to write is that your initial should be capitalized, then followed by a dot, space, your other name. Okay. So this is something that many miss, um, as in you have an initials. Make sure after the initial there's a dot, and after the dot there's a space. Okay. So if you see in this example, this Robert D P Leo, whatever the name is, there is space after D and P, and there's a dot after that. It's not space then dot. It is dot then space. These are very common, very simple things, but these are some things that you need to look into. So make sure your name is formatted very well. Okay, very neat. So your name plays a part. Don't take it for granted. Don't take it very carelessly. Make sure your name is formatted very well. The next is, as I said, your headline, your summary, and how you visually appeal. So headline, if you go to okay, so you use I went through the Computer Society of India's Instagram page, and I think they've given certain do's and don'ts of headline and photo, I suppose. So that is a really great initiative of Computer Society of India. Okay, now about headline. How do you write a headline? So when I go through there's so many students' profiles. How do you stand out? Plays a major role. If you write student at Marbaceri's College, I'm viewing Marbaceri's College, and if I see your headline stands a student, how are you different? Okay, what are your difference? Or like, how do you stand out? Is the first thing that you need to portray in the beginning of your headline. So maybe if you're holding any position in your college, maybe you are a chair of some IEEE, IEDs or whatever, or maybe you're not holding any position, but you have won a scholarship. Maybe just write that. So in my case, I've written Grace GHC, that's Grace Hopper Scholarship Scholar. That's what I mentioned in my headline. Or if you're not a scholar, if you are not holding any position in college, what else do you give? What is something that you're admiring to, or what is a profession that you're aspiring to get? Like maybe an aspiring Python developer, aspiring designer. Okay, something what you are, what you want to become, or you're passionate or whatever. Make sure that is given in your headline. So that should be the first one. Student, or your, like, instead of giving student Adma Basilius College, the entire name, maybe you can give just as final year student. Okay, final year engineering student, third year, first year engineering student. So that is much more brief. So that can be the last. First one could be your how you stand out. As in, if you hold any position, make sure you give that in your headline. Then it can be, as I said, maybe aspiring to what so and so. And if you've done some maybe some internships or something, you can give ex intern. If you were your internship is over, so you give ex intern at so and so company. So such things actually highlight in your profile. So when I see your headline first, okay, this person has worked in this company before, that person is intern, so your headline actually captures attention. Okay, so the next is your so before that, so as I said, the banner also plays a role. Okay. Now, if you're a designer, now I just show you my profile. It's not okay. Okay. This is something very simple profile that I made. Okay, my profile. Now, if you're a designer, or if you have, if you're a designer, make sure your photo, your banner has something, a unique design style in your profile. I'm not telling you should be very cool or very like your other social media handles. Something professional, but it portrays your skill. So it should capture your attention to that. Like the recruiter should capture their attention to your profile. So that's your ultimate intention. Then is the summary. Write your summary in a very crisp manner. So summary would come here, where in your about section, this is your summary. Now summary you can write in different ways. I've written here in the first person, I am Kessia. You can even write Kessia is so and so. The third person way you can mention. So it depends that I'm not restricting yourself to write, like you to write in first person itself. You can choose your style and make it brief. So you should include whatever your skills, your what are you aspiring to, what do you what is your dream. So it should be really short, and when they read it, they should feel like reading it. They should not lose their attention midway. Okay, then at the end of the about, maybe you can give a connect, maybe your email ID. So you are open to different job opportunities. Like you mentioned, I'm looking for internships at so and so. This is my interest, and you should write this in a very interesting way. Maybe if you're not really good in writing, use your what AI tools, ChatGPT or any other AI tools. You can generate wonderful about sessions. So and okay, so if you want to get opportunities, you can connect with me in my so and so email ID. Okay, so that is how you need to go with your summary. Now, before I tell about okay, headline, there are many people who keep the headline with a lot of maybe they mention all the tools that they've used: Python, Flutter, React, and so, and it goes on. Maybe 3 or 4 lines is there in that headline. Make sure your headline is brief enough. Don't keep it too long. Okay, that is one of the tips I want to tell. The next is in your education. So education, so I've included down. Okay, then you can, if you click on this, what happens, the icon comes there, if you know that. Okay, so I get my icon here, my college icon. In the first go itself, the recruiter can see this so and so person has studied or in so and so college. Then when you mention your college, okay, so when you mention your college, make sure you don't type in your college name. If your college has a LinkedIn profile, make sure you go to the, or you tag the actual college profile. Okay, so that actually matters. Then if you do not want to share your college name, you can mention your university. So there are many people who mention APJ Abdul Kalam, KT, okay, APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University, Technological University, or if you're studying in Mahatma Gandhi University, mention your university name if you do not want to mention your college name. That is one way I've seen people doing. Okay, so that is done. You've got the education done. Then, okay, then next comes your photo. Now, photo plays a very important role. So Now, when I say about photo, it should be professional. I do not want photos having a selfie. Okay, I don't want. It's not any other social media account. It's your professional account. Maintain your professionalism in your LinkedIn profile. So I do not want a selfie in your profile photo. I do not want a group photo where I should be confused who is this actual person in that photo. So that should not be the case. You should have your own single headshot photo. That is, I do not want your entire means from your head to toe photo. Make sure it is just a headshot photo. So that why do we say so is because if you look into your profile, your photo is actually very small. Okay, so if you give your photo, like your entire the way you post in your Instagrams or other profiles, the recruiter gets or they get distracted from your clothing, or they lose attention from your face. Okay, they should get emphasis on your face, so that should be your main intention. And if you want to just give some touch up to your face or anything, use some AI tools and make and what post your photo. So make sure you have a good headshot photo in your LinkedIn profile. Then, as I said, don't make your headlines very generic. As I said, student of so and so college is very generic. Or if you say just a one word, aspiring to so and so, that is also very generic. Make it much more, it should highlight yourself. Then don't give a vague summary. Highlight your skills, your aspirations, and your strength, what you are passionate about, and how do you want your recruiters to connect with you. Then what are you looking forward? So that could be mentioned in your summary in a very short, crisp, and very in a storytelling manner. Then as unprofessional photos, I have given you a clear cut idea about that. So make sure you maintain this. So this is a very this is actually that people recruiters do look into in your profiles. So profile photo, then is your banner. Now banner, as I said, I've given a small banner. Now how to create a banner is use Canva or any other tool. Create a small create Actually, creating a banner is very easy. Make sure you take some effort and create a banner, because having a normal banner without like okay, if I remove the banner, okay, how you stand out? Maybe almost 50% of the profiles would not have a banner, but you're the one with the banner. It just highlights your profile in some way. So make sure you have your banner ready. So banner should highlight your skills, or maybe something about yourself should be there in your banner. Then is your education. I've told you about the college. How do you mention that? Then is your certification, your courses, then your projects. Now, if you look into certification courses, you can give the how, okay, when it is issued, or about your projects. Make sure in projects, mention a short summary. What the project is actually, what is the project's objective, then what are the tools that you have used, then what is the part that you have handled, then a link to their project. So maybe if you keep these four things in your mind, your project part will look short, crisp, and very clean. So that is something you look into. And whatever you do, if you've seen my profile, or actually I have learned this through different webinars, through my seeing different of my friends' profiles, I've learned. So make sure you give a bullet points. Your LinkedIn profile should not be a paragraph that makes a recruiter feel very lazy to read. Make it very short, crisp, and to the point. So have bullet points that will make your profile stand out much more better. So that is about your education certification. Then how you showcase your experience. Now showcasing your experience. You have an experience section in LinkedIn, yes? Okay, now when you have this experience section, include everything. You do some internships, include it. Freelance, mention it. Now you are college students, so you might not have much internships. You might not have a lot of internships to portray that. You might not have a lot of freelancers or lot of company experience. What do you mention is your campus roles. Maybe you are a chair of so and so, you're secretary of so and so, you are whatever leadership position are you holding, you can give it in your experience for now. And maybe when you get into when you join as a full-time employee, that time you can just shift all those experience, your campus roles, to your volunteering section. So that's what I have done here. I've added all my other experiences to my volunteering section. So I've written everything in points here also. So this is what you should do in your experience. Okay, so experience, you have your internships, and your campus role can be included in your internship. Then we have so describe what you have contributed, what are the major achievements that you've done. Because of your work, what are the improvements or what you have learned can be mentioned in your the first part, the experience part. Then is your skills and endorsement. Now, what is skills? What have you seen skills is uh, in your above section also, certain of your skills can be given as top skills and can be shown at the top itself. Okay, so this is how top skills mentioned here. Okay, so you have a skills section. Skills section is okay. Now what I've done is okay, you mention your skill, maybe a particular tool, or maybe it is communication, teamwork. Okay, you can mention your soft skills and hard skills. Now mention your tools, technologies, different techniques that you have used. Mention that in your skills. Get them endorsed. Get them endorsed by your colleagues who actually maybe you worked with. Maybe you worked with your colleagues for a React project. So maybe a person can endorse your skill for your for suppose React is one of your skill, your colleague can or your friend can endorse you for that skill. So that is, it actually is almost like a verification or like a validation that your skill is actually valid. So recruiters can look into your endorsements and skill. So that is something you need to highlight. Then comes the recommendations. Recommendation is something, is a section that you see at the at almost towards the bottom of your LinkedIn page. You can request recommendation from your managers. Maybe you worked in internships, and if you feel you have contributed well enough, go ask your so and so supervisor for a recommendation, and that recommendation would be added to your profile. So it's, again, as I said, it's more of a social proof. So when a recruiter looks in your profile, they can actually, if that recruiter knows that so and so company or the person, they can contact that person, or maybe it's a validation. Oh, okay, this person has said so and so about this person. This person seems good enough. Yes, so that is the power of recommendations. And so get recommendations. I'm not telling you are a student now, so the recommendation that you can get now would be very limited. You have time, build your profile slowly. Then is growing your network. Now, I'll just tell you how network has actually played a role. Now, one of my friend, so he was actually, so when he was a student itself, he had he had so and so one company as his dream company. So he contacted one of his college alumna and who's working in that company. So he contacted that person, and that person said, actually, for freshers, we do not hire now. Maybe you contact me later on. So what did this person do is, my friend did is, the person, after getting experience in some other company, again went out to that person and asked, do you have an opportunity now? Okay. So he went and asked that person again and said, okay, you have experience. Okay, I'll refer you to so and so person. So now, even and so, and that person actually got the opportunity in that company, in his dream company. So that's the power of network. If you sat in one corner of the world, you will be getting opportunity in the other corner of the world if you actually network. If you actually utilize this platform, you can get a lot of opportunities. Okay, so that is the power of LinkedIn. Fine. So whenever you send out a network connection request, make sure it's not just as in you want a job now or you want an internship. Instead of directly going asking for the person in ജോലി ഉണ്ടോ, ഇപ്പോൾ ഓപ്പണിംഗ് ഉണ്ടോ എന്ന് ചോദിക്കാതെ, prior itself keep a contact with that person. So it's not like just for your need, you are contacting that person. Prior itself, contact establish connections with people that you have common aspirations. Maybe you are looking into professional of maybe a teacher, maybe some teachers that you're looking into. Maybe establish LinkedIn connections with such and so professions. Maybe you want to be an entrepreneur or a startup. You want to have your own startup. Contact people who have just established the startups, who are really full-fledged entrepreneurs. Establish connection with them and tell how you inspired, or maybe so and so post. Give a comment in the post. Maybe your liking or something. Uh, Maybe there are different people that you look up to. Message them. When you message them, maybe at some point of time, it does good to you. And also at that particular day, when the person receives a message, that person, it might make that person's day. So grow your network. Know to whom to what send request. Do not make your LinkedIn connections filled with just to build a lot of, maybe I want almost 1,000 plus followers, I would send requests to this many people. Don't do that. Establish a network with your passion, your close circle, or your people that you look up to, your similar interest. So make sure your network is surrounding that. So maybe a person who has done internship in so and so company, later on when you like you have established a connection with that person, you can ask, is there an internship in so and so company? How do I get internship? Or is there opening? How what do I need to do to improve my so and so? So you might get tips. So make sure you grow your network in a really good manner. So then it's personalized request, that's what I told, then engage and comment. So you might make sure you use your LinkedIn very well. Just the way you scroll through Instagram, make sure you like scroll through LinkedIn at least once in a while. If you have connections with the right people, maybe such similar topics would come in your feed. And when you like it or you comment, in a like comment should not be just like one word or something. Just like do not make your comment very fake. Make it something appropriate, and do not simply comment. Make sure that you actually want to comment and you comment. Give a comment, and so maybe at that point of time, that person or whoever had posted would remember your name. Okay, this person commented. I remember reading your name somewhere. So that's the power of network. Then comes posting and engaging. So again, for this part, I will tell one of the story and one of the incident that I have had. So I was in college in the third year, fourth year. Okay, I do not remember the exact year. So I'm telling you third year, I suppose. So at that time, I was working as a chair in IEEE. Now we had an event which was in collaboration with another startup. So, and they had received a lot of people. They had received a lot of participants. A lot of people had registered for the event. So the person had from that startup had contacted me like, "What do we do? We need to send invitation to all these people who had registered." And he told me an issue like, normally people do not check their emails frequently. What is another alternative that you can give? So that time I remembered like one of my friend who was working IDC at that time. He had he does things of automating. So just like it struck me at that moment. Well, like I know my friend, he has done these things. Maybe I can give it a try. I will try this time, and I will try automating it. So what I did is I got all those registered people's name. I had that entire Excel. I created a Python script using Selenium, and where you send request using your from your what Excel sheet, the name is taken, and you get an automated message is sent to your WhatsApp. So instead of sending the message to your email, it's sent to your WhatsApp. So this was automated. It was done. So everyone got an automated message in the almost a week before, and almost at the prior to the event also they got a notification. Please join on time. So this was done. What happened through this was the startup. Okay, that so and so person, he was interested. Like, wow, that's actually a great idea. Please create a post for it. I was like, why do I need to create a post? This is a really simple thing. It's not a big deal. I said, go create a post. It can do wonders. It can create some effect. So I was like, okay, fine. I created a post about this thing, the automation that I did, and how it helped almost 200 plus attendees to join on time for this thing. So you have written almost okay, what you did and what is the result that you got. So that is my post content. So I've written this. Through that post, I got different internship opportunities. So that person or different people had actually reshared it. So how do you make sure your post gets some value is through get the right content. Do not make content like a very boring, very simple, or very common content. People tend to just scroll through. Make sure your content is captivating. So as I said, you have different AI tools. Use your AI tools. Make your this thing very engaging. Your post should be really interesting. So that person, what I okay, so that so and so person who had been working in that startup, so he had sent my post to different companies, different of his friends, and he was like very interested. So maybe a post that you do, maybe you might not get attention very quickly. Send that post, so and so post, to some of your connections, and maybe ask them for suggestion, feedback, something. It's not like they should not feel that you're boasting about it, but maybe ask for feedback. Maybe at some point in time that person might strike, okay, I remember a person who has done so and so project or has been working as an intern in so and so firm. Let me contact that person. So your name or your profile should be striked on that recruiter's head at the right time. So that is the power of LinkedIn. You need to do your best, you need to do your part. So that is about posting. So write thoughtful posts and insights, engage with the industry trends. So you might get okay, make sure your post, okay, there is a way in LinkedIn where in LinkedIn there's a section called featured. How many of you are aware of this? Okay, so in featured, what you can do is you can add, it's not necessarily a post should be featured, you can add a media. Maybe your resume can be added here. Then you can add a link to a project can be added, your article, maybe you have written a medium blog, you can add that here. Then a newsletter, whatever, so and so can be added in your featured column. So when you add a featured, make sure your featured section is not a replica of your Google Drive, where you have all your workshop certification, all your project certificates should not be the one mentioned in your featured. Your featured should be a really valid one should be then your featured. Okay, so do not mention all the different webinars that you attend should not be then your featured. So that's not something highlighted. It's not something that a recruiter might want to see. It's not something very interesting. It's not something very valid. Okay, for your use case. Okay, so featured, make sure that you reorder things. There's something called reordering. Whatever top thing that you want them to see, make that in the top. Okay, reorder your entire feature section. So because as I said, your post in your LinkedIn profile, first is your name, your banner, your headline, your summary, your top skills. Then your feature section is one that is portrait. So feature should be your top things should be portrait. If you do not have anything for now, make sure you add your resume here. Okay, so that is the feature section. And activity would be how frequent you're using your post, your different comments would be shown in your activity. Okay, I think that is done. Then content and engagement. Make sure whatever articles that you share, this is an online platform. It's not something I need to tell to all of you. You all know, make sure your personal information is not shared. You do not know everyone. Keep whichever messages that you receive, make sure you think and respond. Don't think this is very professional and you respond to every message, every opportunity. Think before you do anything. Keep whichever platform you use them wisely. Okay, you all are old enough and it's not something that I need to tell you all again, but just be mindful in what you do. Then thoughtful comments. So whichever comments that you mention in your post, make sure it is very thoughtful enough. It's not for the sake of commenting, but you do some effort in commenting. Okay. Then share relevant articles. Maybe you see some relevant post. Share them. Share them to your friends. Share them. Repost it. There's an option called reposting. Do that. Then you can ask questions. Okay. There is engage with the community. That is something. Don'ts is no spammy comments. Don't use it very informally. Make sure you maintain the professionalism. No irrelevant sharing. different post, whichever post you see, repost, repost, repost. There's another thing that you need to be doing with LinkedIn. Make sure that person will regret having, make sure the person doesn't have a feeling of regret because you are their connection. So make sure you whatever you post, whatever your comments is, it's very professional enough. uh, and make sure you do not post unnecessarily a lot of your achievements, or like it should not be a self bragging platform. Make sure you use it in a very wise manner so that people can, maybe you made a website. Make sure your website, you're sharing, excited to share this React website that I made, and you share the website URL. Share that React or share that post to some of um, working professionals or different alumnus that you know, or different other people that maybe maybe you might have some um, your what your favorite or your ideal companies. Send those posts to that company and say, or those people working that company, and ask them for their feedback. So that is something that you can do. Then don't pour out negativity through your post. Okay, that is something very common. Yeah. Then final tips: keep your profile updated, your skills and everything. I forgot to mention, your profile photo should not be the one that you have taken when you were in school. So make sure your photo and everything is updated. People should be able to identify you in that first look itself. Then use keywords for better search. As I said, like I'm using when I went through MBCET college, I was searching through. I typed in Python as a skill. So Python is a skill that if you are skilled enough, make sure you have that skill in your profile. So this is how people actually recruit. Then engage actively. Make sure you have the right connections and establish the right connections, right network. Then comes the final part. Thank you. Hope you all enjoy the session. If you want, for if we have time, I can give feedback to almost two LinkedIn profiles if you share now. If you share your LinkedIn profile in the chat, I can give you a quick feedback if you want to. And okay, if anyone's interested or if anyone wants your LinkedIn profile to be evaluated now, I can give you a positive criticism or positive feedback for your LinkedIn profile. And this is my LinkedIn profile. If you want any help, you can connect with me, and I will try my best to help you as and when my time permits. Yeah. So thank you all. If you want your LinkedIn profile to be evaluated, just share with me now or later on. That would do. Yeah. Thank you all for the session, for inviting me. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask. All good to go? Anyone? Okay. I think you use your chat. Use your chat box. Can I have a quick feedback? Do you did anyone get what all you need to improve in your profile? Did you get some insight in today's session? Did you understand how recruiters actually look into your profile? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Fine. Okay, then that's it. I will wind up the session. Thank you all for joining.
Good evening, everyone. I am Nived. It is my privilege to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks on behalf of CSI SB MBCET for today's insightful session. As we conclude episode 2 of KnackIt LinkedIn Optimize, we hope this session has equipped you with the knowledge and strategies to build a strong professional presence on LinkedIn. A well optimized profile is not just an online resume, it's a gateway to opportunities, connections, and career growth. We express our sincere gratitude to Ms. Kessia Mary Jose for expressing her expertise and valuable insights with us. Your guidance has truly been enlightening. A big thank you to all the participants for your enthusiastic engagement, as well as to our organizers and faculty coordinators for making their unwavering support in making this event a huge success. Stay connected, keep building your brand, and continue your journey towards professional excellence with KnackIt. We look forward to seeing you in the next episodes as well. Wishing you all success in your careers, and thank you all.